Alright guys, so we are back to do the second part to our question and answer video that we recorded last time. So we have about like 2 more pages worth of questions from you guys. So before we start, I just always want to say I hope everyone is doing okay amongst all of the chaos that is going on outside. It's starting to get really nice here weather-wise, so we have the windows open, so if you happen to hear any kind of like children screaming or dogs barking or anything like that, it's really nice. So people are out like walking and riding their bikes and stuff like that. So is there anything we want to talk about before we start answering questions?
No. It's like 3 weeks in.
Yeah.
To stay at home.
Missing going out.
I'm fully decompressed at this point, I think, but
yeah, I'm starting to just
bored.
Yeah, get that itch, like, man, I just wanna go to the thrift store. Even though I still have plenty of stuff to list, it's like it's a sickness of its own.
You're getting through some of it though. It is clearing up a little bit. I could tell it was clearing up in that other room.
Yeah, I do plan on making kind of like a semi-death pile video. We'll see how that goes. I'm just trying to think of like videos to do to kind of keep myself busy as well. So let's just start in on the rest of the questions. The one that we left off on was best scores that we have found thrifting, yard selling, and item that made the most money. This one is kind of hard to think back.
There's a lot of years ago.
Yeah, it's like way years back.
One that stands out is, for me, it was buying the Sailor Moon dolls from late 80s. Were they from the late 80s or early 90s?
I think it was early 90s.
I think I bought 4 or 5 of them for $5 a piece. And they were so happy to sell them to me. And then you turned around, we sold them for like 80 and 100 a piece.
Yeah, I had no idea. Actually, Eric is the one who decided to pick those up. I was kind of like, I don't know, you know, like I heard of Sailor Moon, but I didn't know it had such a huge cult following.
Yeah, they were dolls like maybe like 10-inch, like actual like dolls.
Yeah.
So they were pretty neat. That's one that stands out in my head. Overall, I mean, that's what, 25 to make probably $400 and some dollars maybe.
I think one that stood out to me that I could think about was, because it was crazy because I had found 2 of them 2 separate times while I was out yard selling. Back when I feel like Pandora, like the maker of like the jewelry, the charm bracelets, when they first started to become like super popular, I had found this huge glass and wood
what was it, like a,
kind of like
a dealer's
charm
case or something like that?
Yeah, it's something that would have been at like a jewelry store essentially, that you could display like the charms in and stuff like that. And very big, very heavy, very well made. You could lock it and everything. It came with a key. I found one at a yard sale. I can't remember what I paid for it, like maybe 10 bucks. It
wasn't much, 10 bucks
maybe
or so.
10 bucks at the most. And I sold it for a couple $100, I feel.
Man, that was years ago though,
yeah,
so I can't really remember exactly.
And then I ended up finding another one at another yard sale. I think it was like maybe a year or so later. So it was just kind of crazy. And back then, I don't know, like I haven't looked anything like that up in a really long time, so I don't know if like they're worth even more now, or maybe not as much.
Weren't they black, maybe like 2 feet long, and then had a glass front that said Pandora? When you opened it up, it was all velvet inside and a lot of compartments and everything.
They were gorgeous.
Say it was a dealer case, like you just take it with you.
So I would have to say those, because I got them at yard sales, didn't pay much, and turned around and flipped them for a couple $100 a piece. So those are the ones that stand out for me and what stood out for him. But obviously there have been other things. We just sold those Converse high tops not that long ago for $100.
Oh yeah, the John
Barbados that we paid.
Barbados.
Yeah, we only paid a couple dollars for. So
the bins.
Yep. So just there's plenty of things, but I've been reselling for so many years that it's hard to like think back to like
free cologne that sold for $300.
Yeah.
Lots of colognes picked up for like $1 or even less.
Yeah,
like filler bags that sold for $100+.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff, but it's hard to remember back to everything.
Since what, like 2001 maybe?
Yep. Did you ever find something really special that you were searching for?
Me? Oh, I don't know. I don't think so.
I
I'm newer to this. I've gone out plenty of times, but I haven't really, like, until this past year, I didn't really pay attention that much. I just kind of followed along sometimes.
Yeah, I honestly can't think. Like, you guys know I'm big on nostalgia, so like if I find something that like I had when I was younger that, you know, I wished I hadn't got rid of kind of thing, I get excited about that, which, you know, it's the stupidest stuff. Like, well, other people would probably think it's stupid, but like I get excited about it. And one thing in particular that stands out, and I wish I had brought it over here, like I'm big on smells and like remembering things based off smells. And there was this body spray that I used to wear back when I was like a teenager, and it was by the brand Coty, and they had like different smelling ones that were kind of like weird scents, and there was one called Oh Fudge that smelled like chocolatey, and I absolutely loved it. And I think I had sold it like years and years and years ago because, you know, it was worth money at that point because you couldn't like buy it anymore, find it anywhere. And I found a can of it out yard selling one year, and I was so excited to have it back just so I could smell it. Essentially, I don't wear it anymore, but just taking the cap off of that and getting a good whiff, and it's like it takes me back. So yeah, I'm big on just nostalgia and that kind of thing. So for me, smells are special. It's so weird, I smell everything, but that's just how I am. Just smelling a certain scent just takes me back. So,
is the mic on?
Was there any item that we kept for our collection?
Man, I don't know. Collections change over the years. Sometimes I collect some things and then I get rid of them and whatnot.
Yeah, I would say just like randomly, like things that we get like for like Christmas decorations.
Yeah, that kind of stuff sticks around.
Yeah, stuff that we get out year after year.
I say right now, I don't really have any collections going. Just the mugs right now.
Same with me. I don't really have any kind of like crazy collection that I like go out specifically looking for.
Even like some of the stuff, like we have a couple like living dead dolls up across the top of this desk, but we're not hardcore collectors. I don't think we're hardcore collectors of anything.
Yeah, we just buy what we like, and if we come across it, we come across it kind of thing. We should start collecting something like super weird for fun, like, I don't know, robots.
Robots?
Mini robots. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
You keep going with the living dead
robots.
dolls.
Yeah, but I never found one at a yard sale. Or
yeah.
So that would be kind of hard.
You're not gonna find these at like yard sales.
This thing's dusty as hell.
Yeah, it is. Wow. It's Krampus. Some people probably know what these are.
Yeah,
we have a few of them.
They're cool, and those are very collectible to the point where like
people buy
once
them
you
out
can't
and
buy
charge
them
you
anymore,
a fortune right away.
They become worth a lot of money over time. So it's kind of like an investment with some things as far as collections go. But
I need to dust them off. They've been up there for a long
they're
time.
like way up at the top of the computer desk, and well, you know how it is when things are out of reach. Okay. What's the most money we spent in a day while thrifting or yard selling?
I wouldn't say a lot.
No, I don't like spending a lot of money. I think everyone on this channel knows that. Like, I try to pay the least amount as possible
I'd say,
for my
man,
stuff.
it probably never went over $200 or $250.
Yeah.
And that was with multiple stops.
And that usually gets me like
a ton of stuff.
But it's only because for me, when it comes to reselling, I like to buy at the lowest price and, you know, to make as much profit off of it, because it just makes the most sense when you're reselling. So that's just like what I prefer, but I know there are times when you have to invest a little bit more to make more. Yeah, exactly. So I'm starting to like get over that, but I still, when I can, I like to source as cheaply as possible. Okay, do you watch other YouTubers? I honestly don't watch a whole lot of YouTube myself, but
I think that's probably common for people that make videos.
I do. I've had a YouTube friend on here for a very long time. Her new YouTube channel, well, it's the same channel, she changed her name. It's Tarnished Treasures now, but she used to go by Miss Stonehome. If you love vintage things and things of that nature, you'll probably really like her channel if you haven't ever watched her. So I'll link her down in the description box. But we've been like YouTube friends for a long time, and I actually met her before, so that was really fun, and I do like to watch her videos. And I recently started watching someone named Brandy TV. She's got like 1 million so subscribers, and she's just hilarious. I watched one of her videos the other day of unboxing tarantulas. I guess she like keeps tarantulas. Why can't I say tarantula? Tarantula. I'm having a hard time saying that word for some reason. I'm deathly afraid of spiders, but watching that kind of like helped ease my fear a little bit, which is really weird. But she's also super duper funny, so I like watching her sometimes, but I honestly don't really watch a whole lot.
Yeah, I don't know that I really follow anybody really hard. I watch Sam the Cooking Guy a lot. He makes a lot of good stuff. He's fun to watch. Sam the Cooking Guy, the one that I'm always making his stuff on the grill.
I know, I'm always hearing you like listening to.
He's a good one to check out if you like the grill. Owns a restaurant and that. It's a little profane at times, but he's pretty good. As far as like thrifting and yard sailing, I'd say when I do catch something, it's usually like, there's my phone buzzing in the middle of a video.
Seamus, not a cha-ching.
Yeah. Part-time pickers, I like to watch as what sold on eBay type thing.
I did watch one of those with you.
I'm really interested in watching that sort of thing. Then, yeah, I mean, that's probably like one of the only ones I've watched recently. I've caught someone else local, I think it was Gemini Thrifts. And then I know you've seen some Lavender Clothesline.
Yeah, Lavender Clothesline.
But
I've watched her videos as well.
Probably the most of it. I can't think of anybody I really follow every day though.
Not someone.
Like I said, I think that might be kind of common because it was common with our other channel. We didn't really follow anybody because you're always making a video.
Yeah, it's hard to find
always
time.
Out yard selling. Then I come home and I edit a yard sale video. It's like watching a yard sale video is just yard sale again. It's like, wow, it's like this is a lot of time on YouTube during the day.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Favorite thing to thrift? I feel like we answered that a bit in like the first part.
Anything like from when we were younger. I mean, I haven't.
Yeah, like vintage toys.
I like games. I would like to find Mighty Max, but I never do. What I really want to find is the old Mad Scientist play sets. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, especially.
But I haven't seen one of them in years. I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about. Maybe you can put one like up here on the screen, like the dissolve a monster, dissect a monster, stuff like that.
Kind of like the boy version of Easy Bake Oven.
Yeah, they were cool. There's some on eBay, but it's probably really hard at this point to find like the ingredient packets for some of those sets. They probably go for a good amount. If they're even good anymore, though.
That's true too.
You should put a little thing up here. I'm pretty sure there was like a dissolve a monster and then dissect a monster and. He was crazy. He had like a big nose and his hair was like sticking out.
I remember those commercials from when I was younger.
Boglins.
Oh,
we have found a boglin before.
I did get a boglin.
I did have some of those when I was younger. Man, I wish I still had them. Like I don't even know what happened to them over the years. You have to pop a boglin up to them.
Oh my gosh.
There's like a little hand puppet. It was latex. Some of them are pretty expensive. Maybe like $200 a piece.
Yeah.
Even more maybe.
Yeah.
Depending on what it is.
I mean, I haven't looked at them lately.
They didn't make a whole lot of them. But they're pretty cool.
I obviously like to thrift and yard sale purses, and my favorite table to go to when I'm at a yard sale is like the health and beauty table, like where all the perfumes and stuff are and lotions and that kind of thing. So that's like my favorite thing to look at. And I know before I started kind of expanding like what I'm selling and things like that, like when I would record going to yard sales and I'd go to those tables and people would think like, what are you doing, you know what I mean, there's nothing there, it's all junk, and it's like, no it's not. Like I know what I'm doing.
Old Bath and Body Works can be expensive.
even vintage Bath and Body Works. So yeah, that's just my favorite thing, always has been, again, scents, that kind of stuff, so just my favorite. I feel like this was kind of a part, like a question that we answered, like what made Eric want to start thrifting?
I don't know.
With me.
I don't know. I just decided I'm gonna go out, and then we were gonna take the camera with us.
Yeah, like, he went out a couple of times before, like, I was recording going out. This was before I was recording going out, and you were finding stuff for yourself.
Yeah, because you were working on, like, Wednesday, and I'd go to community aid because they do half off on Wednesday, and it's a madhouse. It's crazy in that place.
It's fun, because it's the not knowing what you're gonna find, what you could potentially find that you could make, like, a lot of money off of. It's almost like gambling, really.
Yeah, sometimes you go in and you're just like, man, I just wasted an hour in here. Other times you walk in, it's like, wow, I got this, I got motorcycle boots, and I got this and that. It's all coming together, and you all of a sudden feel like I need to do this every day.
Yeah, it's addicting. I definitely like sourcing more than I do listing. But I think that every
listing's like the desk job
way.
part of it.
Yeah, that's like, listing is like the no fun part. It's going out and like finding the stuff and buying the stuff.
I think packing it's okay. That doesn't bother me.
Packing.
You don't like packing?
No.
Packing's not bad.
I mean, the easy things to pack, like clothes and stuff.
It's
but
all
when
easy.
it's the breakables.
You just wrap it up more. A lot of wrap. It'll be okay.
Do you think this is a lifestyle to carry you both through life, or are you making plans or involved with future goals?
Well, I don't know. I work full time. So,
Yeah.
it would be nice to not. But it's like
It's
sometimes
so unpredictable.
sometimes it's very feasible. Other times it gets slow, and it's like, well, I'm glad I got that full time job to fall back on.
Yes.
And then, I mean, right now when you work full time and you do this, like it's basically money you can just save and reinvest. But I don't know. I'd like to just do it.
Yeah. If it were,
It'd be fun.
If it were more reliable, then yeah, it would be like awesome to just do
Every
it.
Every day there's more and more people that want to do it. So it does get a little bit harder.
Yeah, there's more competition for, finding stuff and everything like that.
It's getting dark.
It is. The sun went in. It'll come back out.
There it is.
It didn't take long. But yeah, so just unreliable, because with even going yard sailing, here you can only go yard sailing in the summer. It's not a year-long thing.
Yeah.
I don't live in an area where there's yard sales year-round, because it's not, the weather isn't right for that.
That's why it was all like thrift stores the past few months.
Yeah, so that takes out a whole section of where I could possibly be sourcing from. And then with thrift stores, it's hit or miss. Sometimes you go in, you find stuff. Sometimes you go in and you leave practically, and sometimes actually empty-handed. So
that does happen. It just doesn't really get recorded.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, it's like, yeah, we still had a fun trip in.
We don't
I think
just
we only
buy
posted like one
stuff
or
for
two.
the sake of buying stuff to make a video. It's got to be something
Yeah.
that we know we're gonna make some money on.
I have to be able to sell it whether I'm making a video or not.
Yeah, don't want it just sitting around.
I mean, some stuff sits around for a while.
And then as far as YouTube and what YouTube pays to make YouTube videos, that also is something that's not 100% reliable, because ad prices change all the time. There are some points where ad prices are really, really good and you're making decent money, and other times it's not good, and it's
around
just
Christmas,
unpredictable.
it's like in a couple of days it can drop. It can cut like 50%.
Yeah. So if it were more reliable, yes, I would love for us both to just do
She'll probably do
eBay
it before I will.
and YouTube.
I think she will be doing it.
So I'm ready for it.
I don't gotta worry about the healthcare, because if I'm still working, she's on my healthcare. So
like I said, I've been reselling since 2001, so it's been years and years and years, and I've always had a full-time job the entire time.
Well, no,
I would resell.
There was a couple times in between jobs.
My nose itches. Yeah, but I never was able to like focus 100% of my time into it for like an extended period of time, because I was, even when I wasn't working, like I was still in the process of looking for another job. So.
I think if this mess clears up, you're gonna try it.
So yeah,
you're gonna have to make them moves
to see how it goes. It's scary. It's definitely scary. It's not something that I'm gonna be like, okay with until I know it'll be okay, kind of thing, because that's just me and I'm always worried.
Well, you got
about
people to get
stuff.
advice from too. I mean, you got family that does it full time.
Yeah. That's reassuring.
Full time. So at least you got questions and stuff about certain things. You got someone to turn to.
That's true too. It's scary though.
It's scary.
Oh, how did you pop the question to me?
What was it? It was by the lake, wasn't it?
It was.
That is cliche.
We went on a picnic.
It does sound cliche when you talk about it, doesn't it?
Picnic basket and all.
Yeah, we do have a picnic basket. Kind of forget that's down there.
I know, we need to go on more picnics. There's been a problem with ticks lately by the lake.
So we don't take our dog to
Yeah.
Shih Tzu, and it's very hard to find ticks on her.
Yeah, so I've been.
I know you can treat her, but it's like I'm treating her just to take her out there every once in a while. And now that she's old, she doesn't even really want to go out there. She gets hot very easily.
Yeah. Yep. She gets tired and she just wants to sleep.
But yeah,
take her out there, she'd just lay down on the grass and go to sleep.
It was nice, but when you think about it, it's like, yeah, it was pretty cliche.
It's fine. We're not actually married yet. Still just engaged. But it's fine.
It's fine.
It is. Like I'm not in a hurry, obviously. Oh, someone had asked what my most memorable moment was with my mom. That is a hard question because there's just been so many times. I mean, my whole life essentially has been a memorable moment with my mom while she was here.
I have some.
Do you have one? I have one as well, but I'll let you go first.
Being a teenager laying on your bed in the morning. I'd be asleep. Okay. These were late nights. And she would go to the market in the morning and buy like these hot dogs that were like wrapped in a soft pretzel. And I'd be just passed out in bed and she would just huck it from the door, hit me in the chest and wake me up with it.
That makes it seem like my mom was just like, get out of my daughter's bed, here's a hot dog sandwich.
She would just chuck it, but it was a hot dog wrapped in a pretzel, so it's like, done.
Yeah,
and it'd usually be 2 of them, and then I would eat them both.
Yeah, he wouldn't save one for me, so I'd wake up and I'd have nothing to eat.
But that would happen a lot Saturday mornings. It was kind of a frequent thing.
Yep, they always went to the market, and my mom, she was always big on feeding my friends.
Disappointing if I didn't get hit by a hot dog on Saturday morning.
That was always like her thing. Like if I had a friend over, are you hungry? Do you want anything to eat? Like she was just like the mom that everyone wanted as a mom, basically. Like all my friends felt that way. So my most memorable moment that stands out is something that like we would always laugh about like anytime we brought it up with each other or thought about it. But one time we went into Walmart, and you know how Walmart has the greeters there, and the greeter said, "Welcome to Walmart." And my mom, for whatever reason, said back, "Welcome to Walmart, thank you."
I wasn't there for that one.
She started laughing. I started laughing. The greeters started laughing. Like she didn't mean to repeat the welcome to Walmart part. She just meant to say thank you. And she just, "Welcome to Walmart, thank you." Right back at him. We were almost peeing our pants through Walmart. We were just, it was, I don't know what, just, oh my gosh. Even thinking about it now, like, it's just so funny to think about. But
there's probably a lot of instances like that. Whatever she was thinking.
Yeah, yeah. There was no filter with my mom. Like, whatever was on her mind, whatever was coming out of her mouth, it was coming out regardless. So yeah, that stands out to me though. But like I said, there's just so many things, like so many funny things. She was hilarious. She really was. Okay, how did you find out so much about clothing styles and quality, and how would you counsel newbies in finding beautiful, worthy items? So how did I find out so much about clothing styles and quality?
Me would have been from you.
Yeah, it's just
every once in a while we stumble across things we never heard of before.
Exactly.
And you just gotta, like, investigate if it feels nice.
I just really knew from reselling for so long. Like, you get accustomed to brands, you learn brands. When I'm out, I always say about how I like to like feel things, because you can usually feel quality things just by touch, essentially. Like, obviously if you're touching something silk, you know how silk feels. It feels really nice and soft. If you touch something leather, you know how leather feels.
Didn't you used to get a lot of magazines too?
Yeah, I was big into like Vogue when I was younger, so that's how I learned a lot about like what high-end brands there were out there. I was kind of obsessed with that kind of thing when I was younger. So
I think we lack a little on the men's side though.
Yeah, I didn't really learn a lot of men's things, so that's something I don't know a whole lot of, but I'm trying to start to learn more men's like luxury brands other than the typical luxury brands, because there are a lot of men's luxury brands out there that I had never heard of before, and you know, ones come and ones go too. Like,
yeah, it's true too. Some things are popular for a little while and then they're not. So you might buy something thinking that it was going to sell for like good money.
Yeah,
and end up sitting on it for a while.
I have seen designer brands be worth lots of money and then go to being worthless. Juicy Couture being the biggest
used
one.
To be a really good one
Juicy
to buy.
Couture used to be a great reseller, hard to find, and just would sell as soon as you would list it. And now, like,
even like the Coach was up and then it went down. And now it feels like it's coming back up a little bit.
So it just
depending on what it is.
Yeah. So it just really, it depends, and just kind of gotta like get on websites, get like a high-end magazine like Vogue, and just look through the advertisements and get familiar with the brand names and things like that. And then when you're out shopping at thrift stores, just touch stuff. When you feel purse, leather, you're not quite sure, smell it.
Yeah, I mean, if it feels quality, it's got a brand name on it, one of the best things you do is look up that brand.
Yep.
You might find out.
Yep, your phone
like,
is probably...
oh wow, this is a $300 purse. Or you might be like, well, this was $40 at Kohl's.
Your phone is your best source of information.
Yeah, so that makes things easy now.
Yeah, you used to have that back when I first started reselling. There was no cell phones, essentially. Like, you pretty much had to be rich to have a cell phone, and they weren't...
They weren't like this.
Yeah, they weren't like that, and there was no social media, and so it was a lot harder back then, but...
I'd say magazines were probably the best bet.
Yeah. So nowadays, and again, it's like... It's so easy for like anyone to be a reseller or to try reselling.
Yeah, if you're first starting, you're probably gonna look up like every brand, because I did. Like, when it comes to like women's shoes, if I'm alone, it's like, man, I could be there for like hours trying to figure out which ones are good and which ones aren't. I mean, there's obviously just some that stand out. Loud is always better. Focus on those first. Like, oh, I wouldn't wear that, but
they say
Loud is great.
They say ugly sells. So
that's all in
the eye of the beholder.
Preference.
Exactly. Yeah, I remember I used to go to Dollar Tree and find things to resell. Like, there was this was back in the day, again, before social media and all that.
That was the dawn of the internet.
Before there were Dollar Tree hauls and people just going shopping at Dollar Tree for fun. I would go in there. I was buying... There used to be a brand called Naturistics, and they sold lip balms in pots, and they were like really hard to find, and people loved them, and I was buying them for $1 a pop and selling them for 20 a pop. You couldn't do that nowadays.
Especially if you could just walk in and buy a bunch of them.
There's no way you could do that nowadays, because like everyone shops at Dollar Tree, whether they're a reseller or not.
So about brands, just go in. Start looking things up. If you're really lost, you just gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
But women's, man, you guys got so many brands. It's insane. Well, I guess men do too, but we don't focus on men's clothes nearly as much.
Another thing to try would be like going onto the eBay site, putting in a women's shirt or women's jeans, something along those lines, and then go completed solds, obviously, highest first, and that'll bring up everything that's sold for the highest amounts. So
you'll start seeing some brand names popping up on there that
right away.
You want to keep an eye out on.
Yep, so that's another good thing to get accustomed to. Let's see, how many items would you say you list an hour?
Motivated or unmotivated?
Yeah, did I have a coffee or no?
I'm not the biggest lister in the house, but I mean, if I sit down and do it, I'd probably get like 5 or 6, but that's probably, it depends on what you're listing too.
Yeah, it just depends because
when it comes to like ceramics and stuff, you really need to look up those comps and figure out what it's going for.
And yeah, it really depends on, you know, how I'm feeling, what kind of mood I'm in.
If you sit down though, and you're doing it on your phone, how many do you think you get?
In an hour? It just depends on what I'm listing though, because some things take longer.
Let's just go perfume, if you have a bunch of bottles of perfume.
Again, it depends because I look up.
Just shoot a number.
I don't know.
12, 13, if you just sat down and really just did it?
That sounds about average.
That's from picture to post.
Yeah, because I look up every item I list before I list it to get a price point for it. So that is time consuming in of itself, essentially.
And you're probably going to have to do that.
And
you might shortchange yourself or really think that something is worth 30 bucks and you're going to find out it's only worth 15. You'll have it forever if you listed at 30.
And for a long time, I was using my desktop computer and an actual camera. And I said, you know what? This is part of the reason this is taking so long, having to upload the pictures and sometimes like crop them and the whole 9 yards.
Camera phones have come so far in the past few years.
Now I do not deal with the desktop and the camera. I just use my phone. I do everything on my phone. I take my pictures on the phone. I list with my phone, and it's just so much quicker. So less time consuming that way. So if you yourself are using your desktop and like a camera and having to upload and crop and all of that, consider switching over to your phone, because I was kind of hesitant at first. Yeah, I was kind of hesitant at first, but then I would not go back to how I was doing it. So that'll save you time, definitely.
Yeah, you're not required to have a big old DSLR camera and stuff
that's
like
not
that
needed.
To do it. If you got a fairly new phone in the past few years, you're good enough.
To give you an idea,
because when you upload to eBay, they kind of like knock that quality down anyway.
This is true.
So,
to give you an idea of how long I've been reselling, back when I first started, I had to use a camera that took film and actually take a picture of the item that I was listing, get my film developed, and then scan the picture on my scanner just to get the picture uploaded to eBay. You should be thankful it's not like that anymore. And PayPal wasn't, like, not everyone was using PayPal when it first started.
Was there even PayPal when you first started eBay?
I don't know if it was even there when I first started.
Your auctions used to say money order.
Cash. Well-concealed cash. Well-concealed cash.
That's how you waited for the money to come.
Yep. And people, most of that, like 99.9% of the time, people were honest about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there wasn't nearly as much fraud.
Yeah. No, there really wasn't. I was scammed one time that I can think of off the top of my head. Someone sent me a personal check and it bounced. But that could have been, you know, not necessarily their fault.
That does happen sometimes, but...
but that was like the only time I ever had problems. Like, all the cash would always come through fine, and and
a simpler time.
Yes, it almost makes
PayPal wasn't stealing your money.
Almost, but it took so long because you had to wait for the money to come in the mail from the person before you could even ship the stuff.
Well, it's okay, because back then when you ordered something from a catalog, it told you 6 to 8 weeks to
that's true. It's like
people
a month later, you're like,
shipping times back then.
Yeah, it's like a month later, like, oh, I forgot I ordered this.
Wow, it's a surprise. This actually came.
Oh my gosh, now everyone wants things
the next day.
Soon as they, that's
Mail's pretty quick though. What does it take? About 3 days for it to get cross country for the most part.
That's one thing I miss, is just things were a lot more like laid back.
Yeah, some people are really on that too. Like, it's like
I don't have it yet.
You buy it today and ship it today. Gets over the whole way across the country in 3 days, and some people will already be like, well, why isn't this here yet? It's like, whoa. It's like, it's going as fast as it can. I can't overnight it.
Definitely.
It's probably like $30 to overnight an envelope nowadays.
What made you become resellers? Yeah, I
forced me into it.
like I said, I started doing it back in 2001. I had just graduated high school. There's my age for you. I just graduated high school, 2001. Ooh. Yes, I'm old.
Ooh, she's way older than I am.
No, I'm not. We're the same age.
Way older than me.
So I was still living with my parents at the time, and you know, I was big into going to yard sales at that point, thrift stores, and I was just like, okay, I have this stuff. I don't want to keep all of it, but I'm finding like really cool things.
Oh, I used to find it so cheap too.
Yes.
Like Goodwill in Hanover.
Oh my god.
I remember you always telling me stories that was run by two little old ladies.
Yes, I loved them.
Wasn't it like, it was almost negotiable what you paid?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd go in, they'd be like, oh, I knew you were gonna buy that. When I was putting it out, I was thinking about you. But yeah, so I was living with my parents still, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to actually go get like a real job, so... You know how you are when you're like a teenager. You don't really want to work. So I started listing and I started reselling, and then I did actually like go get a full-time job, but I still was reselling the entire time, and I was saving all of the money that I was making reselling. It bought me a car, it bought me a computer, it bought me like everything I needed to like do my eBay business that I was doing on the side.
It's kind of funny because even like computers back then cost almost as much as they do now, but they weren't nearly as good.
Yeah, they were very expensive still.
I mean, I came from a family like I had a computer, but like could barely afford a computer.
Yeah, so it was definitely like paying for things other than, you know, other stuff. Like I was paying my own car insurance, I was paying, you know, for my car payments and everything like that.
Was Goodwill the only thrift store in Hanover?
No, there were others.
There were others?
Yeah.
There was no community aid at that point.
No, there was no community aid, but there was a lot of like small thrift shops that didn't last and things like that. But yeah, so I basically, like, that's how I started. Then when I didn't have stuff to sell, like, I was just looking around the house like, hey, Mom, you want this anymore? Can I sell this?
Mom,
yeah, go ahead. And she'd let me keep the money for it and everything like that. I mean, I had to get her to, actually, like, I think I needed her to help to like get the account because I don't know if I was like of age at the time.
So actually you started before the end of high school then.
Yeah, it would have been.
Because I remember you being
that was
like
before
16
I had a
and
job.
you were supposed to be 18.
Yeah, so but that's how I started, and it just
your mom didn't mind. She wanted more space for new stuff that she was finding at yard sales.
She was always bringing in stuff from yard sales too. And then like I started saving.
And the lawnmower is about ready to fire up.
I started saving, so that's just how I started, and I've just been doing it on and off ever since. I wouldn't say that, like, you know, there have been times where like I didn't have anything listed.
Yeah, this past year's been the heaviest.
Yeah, I've gone through times where like I had enough of eBay and I wanted nothing to do with it. I wanted nothing to do with reselling, and I just stopped for like...
I'm just waiting for that lawnmower to kick on. Right now they're having problems because it's been sitting all winter.
What are we doing to keep busy?
I've rekindled my love of PlayStation.
Yeah,
but I am working too, so it's like, it kind of like, man, I guess life didn't change that much when you still have to work. But when I have my days off, it's just like, oh, there's nothing to do now. And it's like, part of me likes it, the other part doesn't. It's like, I'm kind of bored with it at this point. It needs to end, and there's still supposed to be like 3 more weeks. At least 3 more weeks. I got the feeling at the 30th, we're going to be told to still stay at home. I hope not, but...
I list to keep busy. I also like to watch Netflix. I like to read, and that's basically what I do. And I mean, it keeps me busy. Like, I don't get bored with it. Like, I don't get bored with watching Netflix. I don't get bored with reading. I don't get bored with listing.
There's one thing we've gotten to do. It's like before we never really had the time to sit down and watch a lot of TV, and now we're like binge watching some shows and stuff like that. Yeah. So we're taking advantage. I mean, I'm sorry there's not a video every day, but we're just kind of like taking the opportunity to...
Everyone's that way. Like,
to loaf.
Yeah, I think everyone kind of feels that way.
Kind of slow life down a little bit.
Especially like a lot of parents now have to homeschool their children.
Yeah, I'd imagine
that probably takes a lot of time to do. But the next question is, do I eBay full time. I thought that said my full eBay name.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah, hopefully soon. Like I said, I'm ready for it, but like kind of worried, kind of just scared kind of thing.
I think you'll make that jump.
Oh, I missed a question. Do either of you have siblings, and if so, do they thrift?
Yes, and no, they don't.
I don't have any siblings. I'm an only child.
Our brother is a couple years younger than me. I'd have to drag him. He would not be happy.
Yeah, I don't have any siblings. When you're young, you like that because, you know, you get all the toys. You don't have to worry about anything. But as an older adult now, I wish that I had siblings. So.
Yeah. It's not bad. Me and my brother get along. We don't see each other that much, but we get along pretty good.
Yeah.
No reason to fight with your siblings. Unless... I mean, no reason to prolong fight with your siblings. I mean, there's always a little fight, but that's the way it is. Was that the last one?
Yeah. There's nothing on this
That was
page.
it?
That is everything. No. I know, I feel like maybe this one isn't as long as the other one. I know.
It looks really dark on that screen.
Well, I'll have to lighten it up if it gets too bad. Everyone has their garage doors open, so we're just expecting a lawnmower to kick on any second here. It's supposed to be, what, like 70-some degrees today?
Yeah, but rain later.
But a perfect day to go yard sailing. Oh, goodness. I'm ready for it. I'm hoping that...
We're hoping that once, like, people can start, like, opening businesses back up and stuff, that, like, not too many people are scared to do so. I think the yard sales are going to kick back up. I do not think that the church sales are going to right away. Because that is a lot of people packed in a small spot. Yard sales, you might get a few people up, but
yeah, I was
it's outdoors typically, and it's not that bad.
I was telling Eric that I was worried that people are going to be hesitant about doing it because they're not going to want, like, people trapezing through, like, their garage and stuff like that.
I think the yard sale people are going to be right back at it. I think the auction people will be right back at it.
Oh, yeah.
I just think the church sales are probably going to suffer this year.
Yeah, the one church sale I was going to go to this year, they already canceled it. Like, they don't even plan on having it this year. They rescheduled it for next year. So that one's, like, already not
There's a lot of tables
even on the horizon. Like, I just can't go to it this year at all. But, I mean, everyone's plans have been absolutely ruined. So, me not being able to go to yard sales
I don't think every state
not
shut
that big of a deal.
Just a lot of us. Still worried about our concert in August. But here comes that lawnmower, so I guess we're gonna get going before it gets too crazy. So, hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you next time.